Natalie, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is a little bit different to any video I've done before, and it's all about personal finance. So this is part one of two videos. I'm doing one on personal finance and then I'm doing one on business finance, which includes cash flow and income statement. So the reason I'm doing it is I was doing my own business finances over the weekend and I was putting it on my Instagram story, and I got so many messages from girls being like, I would love to learn how you're doing this. So I actually just put together some editable Excel spreadsheets, which I've linked below, where you can download and work through with me. So I'm going to show you the ins and outs of all of them, explain every little part of it in detail, and hopefully you find it helpful. So the reason that I want to do personal finance as well as business finance is I know some of you might not have your own business yet, and whether you do or don't, personal finance is so important. Like, it's funny because you see so many memes all over Instagram of people like not having their life together. I would say the S word, but I want younger people to watch this as well, so I'm going to keep it all PG. But yeah, you see so many memes of people like not having their life together, and that's fine. It happens to us all sometimes. Like, none of us really have our lives together as much as we'd want, but it's also not super cool to like promote how much you don't have your life together. Like, you get to a certain age and you realize you have to be sensible about some things, and a lot of people think finance is so boring, but I mean, how is money boring? Like, you always want to make more of it, or you always want to be better with it. So I don't understand how it's boring. I think just sometimes the way it's taught or the way you think of it is boring. And if you just change your perspective to like, do I want to make more money? The answer is probably yes. Or do I want to manage my money better? Do I want to invest my money better? The answer is yes. So with this personal finance video, I'm just going to show you how to do a personal finance budget, how to do a monthly survival budget, how to really see what's coming out of your account each month, what's going in, if there's money left over, what are the best things that you can do with it. I promise it's not as boring as it sounds. I'm going to try and make it as useful and as interesting as possible, but hopefully it'll show you how to have more money each month and then show you how to be smarter with the money that you do have, and we all want that. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you download the Excel that goes along with it below, because you can fill it in as you watch, which will be really helpful. And then once you've finished, go for video 2, which is all about your cash flow forecast and income statement and how to put them together when you're thinking of setting up a business, when you already have a business and you might not be completely on top of your finance. And this is going to link really well with that one, because it's going to show you, okay, these are all of your personal expenses, but if you set up a business, you can actually claim for these expenses within your business and save money on tax. So they're both very interchangeable, so I wouldn't recommend doing the second one without the first one. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you have any questions below. I'm going to link my Instagram too, so you can drop me a message if you can't get hold of me here. But yeah, I would love to know what you think. Okay, so I want to start by talking about personal finance. It's really important to have an understanding of your personal finances. This is whether you're running a business or not, and this is whether your financial situation is good or whether it's not so good, because this is going to help you understand exactly what's coming in every month, what you're spending your money on, if you could be doing anything better, if you could be getting a better return on your money. It's going to give you a full snapshot. And the reason I'm actually doing this before we start talking about business finances is because if you want to set up a business, I mean, in the beginning, generally you have to transition from a full-time job to like part-time, or just give up your job completely and launch a business. And doing so, you're probably going to take a pay cut for the first few months. That's just typically how it works, and you have to be prepared for that. So what this personal finance can help you understand is how much you need as a minimum to survive each month, how you could be saving money to make the transition to start a business. So it's really important, but it's also really important if you aren't starting a business, because it can show you how to save more, it can show you how to invest more and make more money, and it's just really important that you get a handle on this. So yeah, we're gonna calculate your monthly survival budget. But first, we're going to work through your income, your expenses, your whole financial situation at a glance. Look at if there's kind of any leakages and where we could do better with money, and then talk through your survival budget. So yeah, as I said, you need to know if you're setting a business that you have this amount of money in savings until you predict breaking even, or that you'll be making this amount as a minimum each month. So if I quit my job, I need to make this as a minimum each month. So we're going to start with monthly personal income here. So in this box here, you're going to put in how much you earn from employment. Okay, so say it's 10,000 a month from employment, and say you have a side hustle right now that is generating you, 2,000 a month. Let's just put this in. I'm just putting easy numbers in so that we can work through this together. So your monthly personal income each month is $12,000. Now let's look at your personal expenses. So let's say your rent is $3,000. We'll put that in there. You know your utilities are $150. I'm just making this up. I'm thinking of easy numbers. Don't just bear with me. This utilities should include everything. It should be your internet. It should be your electricity, gas, all of these things. You can tell that I'm not really interested in utilities, but you should know what they are. Entertainment, so this is going out, this is dinners, this is how you like to spend your free time. So I would put something in there, so say that's $600 a month. Food, this is going to be groceries and things like that. Say this is maybe $300 a month. Savings, how much right now are you putting away in savings? Let's say this is $1,000. Medical, let's say that's $200. Luxuries, how much a month are you spending on luxuries? This spreadsheet is not to tell you to spend less on luxuries at all. If you're earning money, you spend it however you want, but just understand how you are spending it. That's all this is for. So say you're spending $800 on luxuries, travel per month, maybe it's $300. Personal development, I've put this in there because I personally think it is so important, whether this is education, training, online courses, it may even be your yoga classes, whatever it is that you need for your sanity, that you need to grow and learn and develop. It's really, really important. So make sure you get this in here. So I'm going to put $300 in here. Phone, let's say your phone is $100 a month. Subscriptions, so this is everything that you subscribe to, and I really, really, really encourage you to print off your print off your bank statements and go through them with a highlighter and look at your subscriptions, because you're probably going to find you subscribe to things you can't even remember signing up for. Okay, so you've got Netflix, you've probably got Hulu, so like a Visco subscription, and anything. Look at your Apple ones, look at your banking, entertainment, look at what they are and total them up. So I'm going to put in here $30. Insurance, so this is if you're paying insurance for any of your valuables, for any of the stuff in your apartment, whatever it is. Let's say that's another $30 a month. Professional fees, this could be if you've got a wealth advisor, this could be if you have a therapist, whatever it is, that's kind of a professional fee. You would put this in here. So let's say $50 in here. Other, I'll leave this up to you. I don't really know what you spend your money on. These are categories that I've thought might be general for everyone, but feel free to, let's just remove this. Feel free to change this and put your own on there. So I'm going to say other. For me is a cleaner for my house. Rather than put that on utilities, I would change this to cleaner and I would put $200. So as you can see, this is the total amount that you're spending every single month, $7,060. Okay. So let's go back to the top and look at finance at a glance. So this is your net income. Net means what you earn before expenses are taken away. So your net income is $12,000. Your net expenses are $7,060. So left over, you actually have $4,940. So if you're finding you have income left over here after all expenses and savings, what could you use this money for? Could you invest in your business? Could you invest more in yourself? Could you invest in other businesses, or could you save more? So I would then consider coming back to this list and saying, okay, I can be saving more. I'm going to start saving $4,500 a month. This leaves you again with $1,440. So then I might say, you know what? I am going to invest a little bit more in personal development. I'm going to boost this up to $1,000 a month. And you've got 740 left here. Now, you always want to give yourself a buffer because, I mean, we can never stick to like a strict budget every month. That's probably not possible. Give yourself a bit of a buffer, but do bear in mind that you've got this extra money sitting there each month. Try and use it wisely. If you have like a wealth advisor, or you're interested in investing just even a small amount of money, there are so many ways you can go and do that, and it might be a really interesting way for you to spend some money. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on this number. So let's go to the monthly budget. So you are spending $11,260 a month. This is fine, but this is your monthly budget assuming that you have this income coming in every single month. So what we're going to do now is talk about your survival budget. So we always need to prepare for something, you know, happening where your income might stop, your income might go less, like you really don't know what could happen. Or if you set up a business and you lose your income, or your income reduces. We should always be really, really prepared for this, and this is why savings are really important. Speaking from personal experience, you really don't know when you will need to tap into that. So let's talk about your survival budget if this did reduce. So it's different to your monthly budget. Your monthly budget includes luxuries and things that you can live without. If you were trying to invest as much as you could into your business, you would make sacrifices in other areas, which is something you just have to do. Like, you have to make a sacrifice if you want to invest in a business. So you want to select the monthly expenses that you can't live without and create your total survival budget in this box. Consider cutting things such as savings, luxury, travel. I'm not saying that saving isn't important, but if you had to survive without doing it, would the payoff be important? So if you had to start putting money into a business rather than your savings account, would this be worth it? So let's do the monthly survival. So to do this, I'm just going to put the equal sign here and total some things up. So my rent, that's going to stay the same. I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to add my utilities. They're going to stay the same. And entertainment, actually, I could probably be spending half of this and be happy. So I'm going to do a bracket here, click this box here, and divide it by 2, close it. So I'm actually going to be accounting for spending $300 a month on entertainment instead of $600. I'm going to add food. I'm going to add medical. I am not going to add luxuries because it's something I can live without. I'm going to add travel because this could be your car, your gas, your commute to work. It might not be something you can cut. I am going to cut my personal development in half. I might have less time. It might be less important for me. So I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to add my phone. I'm going to cut my subscriptions in half because that's something I can do. So I'm going to add that. My insurance is going to stay the same. My professional fees are going to stay the same. And I'm going to keep other because we always want a buffer. Buffer is really, really important. So there we go. You have your monthly survival budget here. I'm just going to make that bold because I want it to stand out. There we go. So can you see the difference? We have went from $11,260 to $5,145. So if you had to, you could live on that and you'd be fine. You would have your house, you'd have the food you're used to eating, you're still going out, you're still working on personal development. You have all the things that you need, but you've cut away some of the luxuries that you had previously. So I really, really would encourage you to do this. and compare it with this and say, you know, am I spending too much here? Could I revisit this? Are there some sacrifices I could make to save a little bit more or to bring my expenses down? I definitely would encourage you to do that. I think it is really important to know where you are in your finances. You know, it's not cool to not have your shit together. You really, really do want to have a handle on this. So if you can do this and then revisit it every couple of months and just see, are you sticking to your budget? Have things changed? Is your employment still the same? Definitely come back to this and check it out. And one thing I forgot to mention, which I should mention, is make sure this one here is your take-home pay and it's not before taxes, because then the rest of the numbers would not be correct. But I hope it's been helpful. We're going to move on to cash flow now.